All right, we're gonna go live really quick, guys. Give me a second. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to my live stream tonight. Mike from VTech Reviews here. There you go. Let me get some light going on in the background. Let's see if we can get a few people in here tonight. It is Friday night, and I am streaming on the Pixel 4a here. This looks really good, by the way. I'm still very shocked on how good this this bezel looks, or whatever you want to call it, or this phone just in general. Let me turn on my ticker, by the way, and let me see if my live streams are going through and working. We'll see. My thumbnail obviously sucks. If you guys are looking at it like that, somebody's hitting me up on Twitter or something like that. Hold on. Looks like we got a few people in here. Let me see if I can see any comments here. Hey, what's up, Tito? What's up, bro? How's it going? Welcome this evening. We are StreamYarding it tonight, so maybe I'll go ahead and throw you an invite right now. And if you, Tito, sorry, I'm just barely seeing the comments. I'm live streaming Shanaka something. How's everything? Everything's going pretty good, man. Let me straighten myself out here. Everything's good. You know, I'm just, I don't know. I decided to do kind of a late night stream tonight, and I've been watching a lot of Pixel 5 videos, I guess. So I've been kind of just looking at it, and it's making me want to use the Pixel 4a even more. So I've been kind of messing around with my Pixel 4a, and right now I am live streaming on it. Let me know how the quality looks. I'm using the internal mic on here, so I just wanted to check that out for you guys. We got Shanti Malone, Tech for Your Needs. What's going on? Tito. And again, I'm using the Pixel 4a. I am live streaming on the phone, so we got a few people in here. So welcome. Thank you for joining in. And again, whoa, hello. Shanaka something. I can't even say that. What's up? What's going on? Video, and yeah, I'm connected to Wi-Fi right now, even though I was getting good speeds right now. I wanted to make sure that my connection and stuff looked good still. So I feel like I'm crooked over here, though. I have this set up on a tripod, by the way, but everything looks good. It's going okay tonight, though, guys. You know, it's midnight where I am. I know it's probably 11 o'clock or maybe 10 o'clock where Tito is, and whoever's on the East Coast, it's already 1 in the morning. So you guys already know I like to do my live streams real late in the evening. I don't work too early tomorrow, so I'll be live streaming for a bit here. You know, well, maybe not a bit, maybe like close to an hour, if anything. But for the most part, you know, I just wanted to get on, talk about tech, talk about phones. My last live stream, I was talking about the iPhone 12 and, you know, what the iPhone 12 has to offer. And I'm really kind of cater towards getting the iPhone 12 mini, but the price range, oh, I just wish it wasn't as high as it is. I really am a fan of smaller build phones. Like, I love the Pixel 4a. I love the size of it. I'm really getting tired of using this big old iPhone 11, which, you know, I love the phone itself, but I just think it's too big. I'm seriously impressed with the video from the Pixel 5. Still no word from Google if I'm getting one that I requested a review. Yeah, I think I had sent an email out to that. Here we go. To that email that you had on your Facebook, and I got something back, but it wasn't. I don't know. It was just more of like, it just gave me links, and I didn't know which link to go to apply for that, I guess, or whatever. Or I don't know if they emailed you back specifically. I got just like an auto email back. But anyways, for the most part, yeah, dude, it's been pretty good. I can't complain. I mean, and again, I'm still really enjoying the Pixel 4a. To me, it's like, I still think the Pixel 5 is a little overpriced for what it is. But did you get the Pixel 5 yourself, man? I would really like to know. Tito says, I'm really impressed. And again, I'm having a hard time. The screen real estate on this is very tiny, guys. So I do apologize. I'm usually using bigger phones. That's kind of the only thing that kind of kills it for me, as far as like when I'm live streaming and doing things like this. Let's see, but yeah, Tito says, I'm seriously impressed with the video from the Pixel 5. Still no word from Google if I'm getting one that I requested. So again, yeah, I mean, let's see, Tech for Your Needs is saying, let me have the iPhone 11 since you don't like big phones. LOL, you're too funny. If you have T-Mobile and you want to pay it off for me, that's cool, because I'm still paying it off. So if I ever do decide to upgrade to like the mini or something, I'm actually going to either traded in or something like that. It's not paid off yet, so I'm still paying it off. Um, and I'm kind of curious to know how much money I actually owe on it because I've only had it since it came out, which is about a year. So I'm kind of curious now, like how much money do I owe on the iPhone? Because I know we finally paid off my mom's iPhone 7 XL or whatever you want to call it. Let me see if I can get logged in here. I don't even remember my account info. Like that's the weird thing about it. Let's see if I can get this going really quick. If not, I might have to change my password or something. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, though, I mean, I've been testing out my visible speeds on the Pixel 4a, and that's really the only, aside from the phones that I've gotten it with, like the ZTE, Blade, A7 Prime, etc., like that. I've really gotten, prior to like this past month, I was really getting a consistent speeds with the Pixel, and then the other speeds, which were around 30 meg download speeds. So there we go. The iPhone 7 Plus. There we go. Is the proper name. Yeah. So sorry about that. It says, "Too bad you still owe. You could have traded it in." Yeah, you're right. I might still. I don't know. I might. They still might do something or whatever. Let's see. My line. About 5 add-ons. I'm looking at my data usage, and this month I've only used 3.7 gigs of high-speed data, which is kind of ridiculous. And then my other line, which I'm not, which is the T-Mobile Revel 5G. I'm not really using it too much. You know what I mean? It's kind of just a backup line for now, and we'll see how it goes. Apparently, I'm supposed to be getting like statement credits on this or whatever. Or at least that's what they told me. I don't know. It says applied discounts and promotions, $8.34. So even though it's the price of the Revel 5G is $399 at T-Mobile, but when I got it like on some promotion, so I'm only paying like $8 extra a month for that phone, and that one will be paid off a lot quicker, most likely. Or I can just pay it off. You know what I mean? I don't really have to do it myself. I can just pay it off. But I really want to hold on. Let me go back here. I really want to see how much I owe on my iPhone 5 or whatever. How's the Crickets? Well, we actually have someone that pays attention to my videos. The Cricket service is actually relatively horrible, especially in my area. I don't know. I don't know if that's an AT&T thing. Let me get my phone really quick. Or I don't know if it's just because they're clocking the actual device. Let me see if I can jump into a speed test really quick. Hold on. I don't even know if I have service anymore. I might have. I only paid for 1 month. That's why. So let me see if I can get onto the LTE here, sir. So again, the service, this is Cricket or whatever, and this is on the TCL 10 Pro. But like when you first do the test, it'll go over like 10 or 20, and then it'll stay under the 8 megabits. So I don't know if that's because they are clocking the speeds, and I think there is a disclaimer about them clocking the speeds. Yeah, you don't have to finish. Tech for Ernie says you don't have to finish paying. You can trade in and see how much they give you. I'm a T-Mobile customer, almost 14 years. Damn. The Combat says what's up. So you guys can kind of see my download speed for Cricket and my upload speed is pretty bad. So I will not stay with the service. I would probably rather just go AT&T prepaid or whatever, just because I really don't think it's really worth it. I would rather just go with Visible or something. But sadly, Visible does not work on the TCL 10 Pro, even though they are promised. The bands excuse me, not the bands. I guess apparently this phone can work on Verizon, but you have to like jump a number of hoops to get it going on Verizon. But I tried getting it to work on Visible service one time, and like the online reps just really couldn't help me, and I just kind of gave up on that. So I only owe $330 on the iPhone 11, and there is an early upgrade option. Let me see that early upgrade. Ooh, iPhone 12. See how big the trade. See how to save big with trading or add a line trade in. I don't want to do an add a line. You see, they're offering the iPhone 12 at $31 a month for $799, and you just have to pay $80 down. I really want to get the iPhone 12 mini though, which that's something that I'm really considering. You know what I mean? It's something that I would want to look at when it comes out. The OnePlus 8T 5G. Wow, it's zero down, but you just have to pay $31 and some change a month. So that's pretty good. Let's see. Caps on the lower plans, but I think unlimited $60 plan is uncapped. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think that's a little high. Excuse me. I think that that's a little high to be paying for not having a specific cap. Like, what's the point of having a cap? Like, why? How is it that companies like, Visible not have caps? You know what I mean? Why would you want to cap somebody's speed? You know what I mean? I just really think that's ridiculous. To the point. Cricket caps on a lower price, but I think okay, yeah. Well, you gotta wait until November 13th. Yeah, so I have a lot of time to think about what I'm gonna do with my iPhone 11, and I really like the design of the new iPhone 12s. To be honest, like of course, the one thing I hate is that they still have the notch on the top or whatever. Wow, guys, I'm surprised I'm actually having some people in here tonight. That's hilarious. Um, I think I'm just gonna do my live streams late at night from now on. I think that's just a better thing for me. But anyways, yeah, for the most part, I blanked out for a second there, guys. Sorry. For the most part, though, I think I might wait. I really like the new design of the iPhone 12. Although, again, I don't. I'm bouncing back between the iPhone 12 mini and the iPhone 12, just the regular iPhone 12. I don't really care for the Pro versions of these phones, just because I don't need all of those bells and whistles with the cameras. You know what I mean? I really just want something smaller and slimmer. And I'm hoping the battery is not bad. Apparently, it's going to be the world's smallest 5G phone or whatever, I guess, which maybe when it debuts, it will be the smallest 5G phone at the time. Really, when most flagship devices have phones with screens over 6.5 inches, it's like, wow, like, I'm happy to kind of see companies go in a direction where they're getting, they're using smaller devices, or they're still making smaller devices for those consumers. So okay, hold on. Rob, I'm sorry, Rob. Let's see. It's good. OnePlus 8T. What are my thoughts on that? To be honest, I haven't really read much on the OnePlus 8T, other than the fact I think I saw Marquez's video earlier on it. Let me click this over here. But it looks like a nice device. I mean, to be honest, like most of these like 2020 devices are all looking the same to me, especially the Android versions. Like, I mean, LG, OnePlus, Samsung, even like the generic versions, like the generic brands like Umidigi and whoever else, Motorola, except Motorola's not a generic brand, but they're really all starting to look the same to me. So I really am not a fan of the designs on these phones anymore. And really, the only phone company that's really kind of doing something a little bit different is LG, like with their flip phones and with the Velvet and whatnot. You know what I mean? I think they're kind of going outside the box, and they're trying to be a little bit different. Let's see. Device, but bigger screen to body ratio. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm definitely into the bigger screen to body ratios. You know what I mean? Especially on phones. The OnePlus 8T 5G. That's crazy. 48 megapixel main camera, but again, what's a drawback for me? 6.5-inch screen display. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. I have horrible eyesight, guys. So having bigger screen benefits me for the most part, but like I can still read on smaller devices. Like I just feel like they're just so much easier to use. My hand doesn't hurt so much at the end of the day when I'm using a smaller device. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just one of those things. And that's the thing. Like, I don't game. Like you guys, if you saw my last video, I did a little bit of gaming on the Pixel 4a, and I should be putting out videos on like gaming on the Revel 5G and also the phones like the TCL 10 Pro, etc., like that. And the size of these phones, it makes it nice. You know what I mean? To having that bigger screen for gaming. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess it's each person's preference or whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But glad to have you guys here, by the way. Really shocked that you guys are actually joining in tonight. Let me go ahead and share this on Twitter, by the way, just because, And I made a post the other day saying, and Tito knows what I'm talking about on Twitter, but I was telling myself, I was like, man, like I feel like I'm stuck on the same amount of Twitter followers that I've had for like the past year. Currently, I'm sitting at 157 followers. Yesterday, I had 158, and then I lost a follower. I don't know exactly what happened. But I'm just like, I can't get over that little hump. Like, I feel like Twitter is such a hard, um, it's such a hard social media place to get followers. You know what I mean? And it's the same everywhere. I would think. I feel like it's the same everywhere. Um, but I don't know. Let me know. What do you guys think about the iPhone 11? What are your thoughts on phones like the Pixel 5 and the 4a 5G? You know what I mean? It's for gaming. Wider is better. I wouldn't say phone. I don't know if you're referring to that LG, the phone that I'm talking about, but phones in general, yes, the wider it is, the better it is for gaming, etc. Like that. Like I've really considered looking at phones like the Microsoft Surface, Android device or whatever. I forget what. I mean, that phone's already been out for a while already, and people kind of got over it already. But I really like the design of that phone. Cheeto says, "I want the Pixel 5." I know you do. I know you love pixels, Rob. I might actually, just so that you can get some videos up, man. I might send you this as a gift, man. Just because I don't really have a use for it anymore. So if you're interested, DM me. Just because it's an old phone, but it works. So we'll see what's up with that, dude. The Nexus 4, the original Nexus 4. You know what I mean? Add to your collection, right? Pixel 5 over the iPhone 12. A lot of people, and you're gonna have your Google enthusiasts out there, right? I mean, I've really contemplated switching back over to Android. It's just that all of my family has iPhones, you know what I mean? So, my sister, she FaceTimes me all the time. My mom has an iPhone, my brother has an iPhone. Yeah, we'll talk about that later, Rob. I knew that would make you happy, actually. But anyways, yeah, for the most part, it's just been one of those things. Rob, if I send you that device, I really want to see if you can get like a higher version of Android on it, because I think that phone, the Nexus 4, only has like Android 5.0 on it, I believe. So I would like to see if would be able to like put a custom ROM on it or something like that, if you ever have the opportunity to do that. You're like, switch to Android. Shanta Milan says switch to Android. That's he's like, it's way better, the way forward. I don't know. Like I to be honest, like I started using Android at the beginning, when I first started using smartphones, and I love Android. Like I'm always gonna have a thing for Android, but really the iPhone has been my bread and butter for the past couple years. I'm able to shoot and edit video on this no problem. The picture quality on these phones are just amazing. Like they're just top tier. Like even if you buy one of the top Android phones, like really the only phone camera, there's very little phone cameras out there that compete with the iPhone lens system over here. So obviously phones like the Pixel, which I'm using the Pixel 4a, even though the Pixel 4a is like their cheapest of the lineup, it still has some of the best cameras. Tito says he will flash a custom ROM. Definitely. All right. Well, Christmas might come early this year for you, bro. Just so you know. So, uh, let's see. You get the best of both worlds. Keep an iPhone and an Android in your pocket. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I have an Android with the T-Mobile Rebel 5G, and if I ever not want to use the 5G, I can always just pop the SIM into the into this phone, which is the TCL 10 Pro. To be honest, the T-Mobile Rebel 5G, it's a good phone. I really don't like the fact that it's a lot thicker than the TCL 10 Pro. Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys the build of that. So here's the T-Mobile Rebel 5G, right? And let me take the case off the um the TCL 10 Pro, which again, it's made by both companies. I kind of put them side by side just so you can kind of see like which one is thicker and thinner. So the one on top is the TCL 10 Pro, and the one on the bottom is the 5G. So I mean, obviously you can kind of tell the difference there. One has an AMOLED display, the other one doesn't. Which again, this one has a curved screen, which looks up and feels a lot better in the hand, to be honest. You know what I mean? Build quality on the TCL 10 Pro just feels a lot better. I've heard they're going to release a T-Mobile, or not T-Mobile, a TCL. I'm getting flabbergasted here. They're gonna release a 5G version of this phone, or at least that's what I was told. But again, I don't know how long that's gonna be. And I think probably with the 5G version, you might get an upgraded you might get an upgraded like specs or something on that, or upgraded processor, because this one has the Snapdragon 765, I believe. I'm blanking out here. I might have to just go in there and look at the processor, because I always forget like the processing power that this thing has. Hold on, let me see. Turn on. I don't know why I have eye comfort mode turned on. I have it set to turn on at nighttime, but that doesn't really help my eyes, to be honest. System update about the phone. So yeah, actually no, the T-Mobile or TCL 10 Pro. Ah, what did I click? I didn't click anything. That was weird. This has a Snapdragon 675, so it doesn't even have a 700 series Snapdragon processor, which to me it's not bad. Like it's, but when I've used it against phones like the Revel 5G, there's a big noticeable difference from one phone to the other. You know what I mean? Um, let's see. Well, you got the iPhone 11 and the Pixel 4a, good to keep in your pocket as daily drivers. Snapdragon over Apple Bionic chips. I totally disagree with you, Sean Tim Malone. And that's coming for someone that has used both iPhone and Android devices. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I haven't used the top Snapdragon phones on Android, like the Snapdragon 865 or the 865 Plus, but I had phones in the past that have had Snapdragon processors, and I can tell you right now that like the iPhone, even the older model, Apple chips like the A11 and the A12. They probably work a lot better than the newest of the Android bunches. And some people might disagree with me, some people might not. But again, take it from someone that uses an iPhone every day. I don't just use it every day as a phone, but I also use it in my job where I'm having to use specific apps for my job to help run the business that I'm running, right? And we use iPhone XRs, which those are again a few years old already, and those devices are just not like they work great. You know what I mean? Like I have no issues with them. They I mean, the only thing is every now and then we have like internet hiccups at work, and that's not so much the phone as it is our network at work. Tito's already talking about the Nexus, or I was gonna say the Nexus 6, the Pixel 6. You're already talking about the Pixel 6 over here. I was like, bro, the Pixel 5 just came out, and so the Pixel 6 is looking to be awesome with Google ditching the Qualcomm chips. So if Google is ditching Qualcomm chips, what will they be using? Is Google going to? I would love to see them start using like Intel chips or some sort of like AMD, because I mean, if you think about it, like you have these computer processing chips, right? That are so powerful. Like, why don't they kind of buy into like the mobile industry? You know what I mean? Um, Qualcomm obviously a great company, you know what I mean? But it's like, okay, like why aren't these other companies like AMD and Intel are getting into stuff like that? You know what I mean? Sean Tim Malone, Sean Tim Malone. I know you're waiting for me to put on some. That's a smart thing to do. I think finally Google should be. I mean, Google's a multi-billion trillion dollar company. So if you think about it, like they're already at that point where they can afford to start making their own chips. If you think about it, why not make their own chips? Because they can put them in a lot of other devices, not just their devices, but they can charge other companies like Motorola or LG to put their chips into these smartphone devices. I mean, it just makes sense. You know what I mean? I think it'll be interesting. I think once it gets to that point, you might see the competitiveness of Apple and Google really stand out a little more, especially when it comes to performance. That's just really one thing that I'm kind of looking forward to seeing. You know what I mean? Um, Snapdragon 865 Plus is a beast. 700 series are not that great. Well, 700 series are like what the mid rangers, or kind of like the higher mid rangers, like right before flagship level. Or at least that's what I'm seeing here. You have like all of these devices like the A71 or the A51, and just vice versa. You're starting to see them with the 700 series chips over here. So, but yeah. Oh, it's kind of starting to die down. Where did everyone go? Well, that's okay. It's getting late anyway. I kind of just wanted to get on and talk for a little bit. So, check out the Google Project Whitechapel to see what they're doing for their chip development. Do they have a YouTube channel? I might have to check that out myself. But excuse me, I hadn't been coughing all day, and then right now, before I started the stream, I started coughing a little bit. and I am telling myself like, damn, like my breathing and whatnot ever since I have the corona has changed so much. You know what I mean? There's still some days where like I feel like I have shortness of breath, and I don't know if that's just because of anxiety or something like that. This is like off topic, by the way. Going back to talking about coronavirus over here. Did I see the PS5? I mean, I know what the PS5 looks like and is, but I haven't seen it in person or whatever. No, but I'm so happy that like the last month or so, my coughing has dropped it exponentially. Like I remember I was noticing that I was coughing. I was still coughing a lot at work. You know what I mean? Post coronavirus, and in this last month, like I've really seen it drop like up to the point where like 98% out of my day is like no coughing. You know what I mean? I have seen the PS6. Yes. I mean, I went to the doctor about a week ago. They haven't told me anything. They said my blood oxygen level is fine. You know what I mean? So I'm not having like if it was low or something like that, they would they would have told me something if I was having it. It's I think the breathing is just more like it's being able to catch my breath at specific times, like today. And I don't know if that's just because I was tired. Like after I got out of work, I went to get a haircut, and I was wearing like more of a not like a medical mask like one of these, right? I was wearing like a just like a cloth mask, you know, like one of the ones that I order online, and I don't know if I was just maybe getting anxiety, but I started breathing heavily when they were cutting my hair, and I was like, why am I breathing heavy? Like I'm fine, you know what I mean? Like there wasn't a lot of people in the building. You know, the lady that was cutting my hair was doing a good job. She was being real nice. So I really don't know what was going on there, but I mean, for the most part, you know, I'm doing a lot better, and I'm just hoping that, like, you know, like, yeah, by December or whatever, that you know, I'm completely, I would say completely symptom free, but I don't think anyone ever just really gets better from the coronavirus. I think that there's everlasting effects. So if you guys have never gotten it, be thankful and take every precaution that you can to not have the virus. You know what I mean? My mom and my dad had it. My dad, we think he had a stroke, but when we took him to the ER, they said he didn't. But you can tell that physically he's just not the same anymore. So yeah, maybe I was taking in carbon monoxide, like you said. These masks, bro, you're taking back in carbon dioxide with the cloth or thick mask. Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's not to me, it's not a thick mask. Like it's something like this. It's really not that thick of a mask. You know what I mean? It's just a cloth mask. Uh, Naruto, by the way. Woo, yeah. The Akatsuki, but you know, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it earlier today, and I was really feeling it. I was like, wow, like I'm like this is tough. Like, and I kind of had to catch my breath a couple of times while she was like swapping out the you know the things to cut my hair. But it is what it is. But yeah, going back on topic, guys, because I always get off topic. So Tito, I know that you have you know you've been running tests on the you know Visible network. I wanted to ask you which phone. I don't know if you can get COVID twice, but that's a good question. Which phone were you doing those visible speed tests on? Because I'm curious because you were getting about 100 download on your end. So, you know, for me, I was getting about 60 earlier before I started doing this live stream. So I kind of am just curious on like which, you know, which phone you were using for that. Were you using the Pixel 4 or the Pixel 4a? Um, or using a Pixel device at all, you know? And are you still running an iPhone? Do you still have iPhones? Like, I'm curious about that. Okay, Pixel 4 on visible speed. And I'm honestly I'm really tempted to just pay off my devices and just fully switch over to Visible as a service um just because obviously like right now with T-Mobile I'm spending probably a good 160 a month, you know, with my 3 lines, which they're not charging me for the third line, but they are charging me for the actual phone itself, which is an extra $8. Again, my iPhone 11 bill, if I can ever go back to it, let me see. I might have gotten timed out already on this. Um, the the services by itself, without me having any phones or anything, like is like It says, oh, what is this? Order total. Okay, no, that's just my bill. Make a payment. Let's go to my account. Um, it's probably around 110, $120 for the service for 2 lines unlimited. But they also pay for like my T-Mobile, or not my T-Mobile, but it's $120. I pay an extra $5 for like the what do I pay an extra $5 for? I think I pay an extra $5 for like Netflix. So it's 125 a month, not including taxes, right? But I get auto pay discounts as well. So I don't know. Busy Noob, King of Tech. Is that King of Tech Deals? What? What? Am I seeing things? King of Tech Deals. What's going on? How's it going? I'm just trying to get noticed by Visible Network. That's why I keep posting a lot of videos about their service. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. That would be nice to get noticed by like a brand. I actually got messaged by a VPN service, which they wanted to like sponsor me or become some sort of like affiliate in one of their programs, and I'm just like I told them I'm down to do like a video where they pay me to like talk about their service, and I will add in like their service info with whatever. King of Tech Deals, what's up, Mill Hustles? How's it going, bro? I haven't seen you in a while, man. I feel like you kind of disappeared and you've just been MIA for like the longest time, man. But I see you lurking on Twitter, man. I know what you're doing. Um, what's up, King of Tech Deals? Look, this guy's got two. He's got what the hell? King of Tech Deals and Mill Hustles. Huh. I'm curious on what's going on there. Looks like I got a bunch of people in here now. Nice, yeah. Now, so anywho, we're just talking about visible service, and I'm talking about like how much money I owe on my iPhone 11. I only owe like $300 on it now that I'm looking at this or whatever. Can I go to my account? Hello, let me see. I'm still logged in. I can just pay off the $300 easy. Let's see, because I know the iPhone 11 we don't owe any money. I'm paying $30 a month right now for the iPhone 11, which is the product red, and that's $30 a month extra to my bill. So that's 120 plus 30, and then I'm paying the extra $8 for the Revel 5G. So, Latrell Jennings, yo, what's up? How's it going, man? Thanks for joining in. I know you saw my tweet earlier, man, about Visible's networks improving, but I would hope that they don't not improve. You know what I mean? Mill Hustles, what? You have a daughter? Congratulations, man. I didn't know you have a kid, dude. So I could understand that, you know what I mean? I can understand that's why you've been kind of away then, for the most part. But congratulations, I did not know you had a kid, man. Otherwise, I would have been like more like I wouldn't have said anything, right? Let's see. Send you the link, bro, on Twitter. Spoken to their PR manager. She is watching YouTube now. She is watching your channel nowadays. Wow, well that's pretty good. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that you know their PR manager is paying attention. Let me see if I can send you a link really quick. I might have to get out of here really quick. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Guest. Let me copy the link here really quick. I'm having to copy to clipboard. Okay, let me get on Twitter really quick. Let me send you the link. I don't know how this is gonna work. Let's find out. Let me paste this up really quick and let me send it. And then let me, oh snap, I just opened up my camera app. No, hold on. I know it looks like I'm sideways right now. You more about it on live. How do you get sponsors by the combat? How do you get sponsors by the combat? There you go. That's pretty cool. I'm glad to hear that someone is paying attention to my PR or whatever. I hate the new Facebook Messenger logo, by the way, Latrell. Yeah, I've seen it. I know what you're talking about. And by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, but you can actually change. I made a video. You can actually change the Instagram app icon also color. I changed mine to black, like my soul. But you can actually do that. I made a video on that for people that want to know how to do that, I guess. But let me know when you're in, Tito. I don't know how long I'm going to be on. I still need to take a shower. I still do work in the morning, but not super, super early. So see if we can get you going in here. Let me know when you're ready. How do you get sponsors? It really just depends. I mean, Latrell probably has more luck with sponsors than me, right? Oh, you changed it to the really old logo, the brown one. Yeah, I really like that logo. I don't know why they changed it. Um, but for the most part, yeah, I mean, to get sponsors, obviously, like you have to have a brand first of all. So obviously something like a YouTube channel, and then like the company will reach out to you. And I've never had a sponsor personally for my channel, but a company will reach out to you and they will, they will offer like an incentive, like an affiliate program for like depending on how many people sign up for their service, or they will pay you like a lump sum to make mention of their video of their stuff in your videos, basically. So pretty much that's how it works. When you post a video that has sponsorship material on YouTube or even in like Facebook, I think you do have to click a little thing before you upload the video saying that yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do. But they emailed me and then I asked them I would like to do it in a video, and then they never responded. So I'm just like, but they put in their email, would like to, if you're not interested in the affiliate program, like how could we help you or whatever. I'm just like, and usually find their press email if they're consider press, or you can Google their. Okay, yeah. Or yeah, what Latrell's saying is reach out to a lot of companies. I usually look up company names, press release, and usually go find their press email and their email because you're considered press. Yeah, technically, I mean, when you're like an affiliate marketer like us, we're covering things like phones and devices and news and stuff like that. Definitely, I mean, that's another option, right? I think I emailed Google's PR email because Rob gave it to me, but oh, here we go. Hold on. Sorry, Rob. I totally didn't see that you were there. Okay, are you in here
Yo,
now?
what's up, man?
How's it going, dude? Not much. I see you're blacked out there. You're gonna use that Spawn logo or what?
That's right, man.
What's up, man? How's it going?
I've been to hell and back.
Everything okay, man?
Yeah, no, everything's cool, man. Everything's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you, so because so the person that I know that pretty much like hooked me up with that whole thing with Visible and had me test it out. She is a public relations manager, so she's a PR manager.
Cool.
I've been giving her different channels to watch. Basically, so like if Visible does like any like major changes or big things, like who knows, like because like 5G is it's coming to Visible. If she gives me the word or even just reaches out to you without me even knowing, she may and have you do something for Visible. So you're on their radar.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm interested in their, I guess their 5G thing or launch, because I mean, obviously when they do that, it's going to they're gonna like point out like a 5G phone that they're gonna want to sell when that launches,
It'll be
basically.
the iPhone 12.
Yeah, it might be the iPhone 12, or who knows, maybe they might like throw in another like ZTE 5G phone or something, because like all these phones that they're giving away with their, with their membership or with their, with their stuff are mostly ZTE phones. Remember? So
Yeah, no,
I'm interested
it's
to
actually
see if
going to
they'll have like
be it's actually going to
yeah,
be the iPhone 12s because the
yeah.
5G connectivity that Visible is going to have since it runs on Verizon's network is going to be ultra wideband, which
Oh, wow.
the iPhone 12s have access to that. It's basically millimeter wave, so that's what they're going with it.
Mill Hustles, I'll delete my comments. Well, you're your own moderator, bro.
Mill
Okay, he's a
Hustles,
moderator.
aka King of Tech Deals.
King of Tech Deals. I missed that guy's videos, by the way, bro. Come back to
Yeah,
YouTube, bro. Come back to YouTube. Well, that's interesting, man, and I really appreciate that, dude. I mean, anytime a YouTuber puts out a good word for me, and vice versa, I try to do the same. Like if companies ask, I'll be like, oh, like check this guy out, check that person out. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
always good to.
we gotta help people out. Did you send an email to the press at google.com?
I did, and let me tell you what I got back, just because it was more like just an automated email, and it showed up with like links. Hold on, I'll look at it right now. I'm like literally sitting in front of my computer. So I did email them and said, thank you for contacting press at google.com. If you remember, press or employee will get back to you as soon as possible. And then it just gave me like all these links saying, if you're experiencing any product related issues, please visit our help guide. And then it just gives you like all these links. So I emailed them. I got an automated email, and then I haven't received anything back yet. You know what I mean?
Try wait till Monday and then try it again. Because like I said, it's weird. Like I tried it before and I got the same automated email, and then I tried it again last week And then I got the same automated email, but then like an hour after it, I got another email that gave me a direct link to an application to apply for getting a review unit. And
Oh,
then,
that's cool.
yeah, it's really weird because then you put like, you have to check that you're part of the media or analysis, and then you got to put, you know, your first last name. The next part after that, you put in like your what your media thing is, which you would put your YouTube channel. You would put that you are the owner of the channel, and then it's going to have a list of all these products. Like you have to check like which one you want is a priority. So I put Pixel 5 and Pixel 4a 5G as a priority, and then Pixel 4a as a secondary, and then just submitted it. So like I'm waiting for their response back. But
Oh, that's awesome,
just
dude.
keep trying again, man. Just bug the
Yeah,
shit out of
either
them.
or. Yeah, I think I'll take your advice. I'm off Monday, so I'll sit down and send the email out again, you know, and I'll maybe give them a little more detail on my YouTube channel, etc., like that. Latrell says I have a Google Fi sponsored post going up on the 19th. That's pretty cool, dude, honestly.
Yeah,
Especially being sponsored by Google. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Latrell's a homie, dude. Like I'm like, I kind of like bug the hell out of Samsung and try to like get them to pull him into Team Galaxy since he's you know Samsung fan. You know, we just do what we can to help each other out, man.
I thought he was though. He's like a Samsung guy on his YouTube channel now.
All his stuff is out of pocket, dude.
Oh really? Damn.
Yeah, all his Samsung are out of pocket.
I mean, considering he's got Latrell, you've got a good amount of subscribers, man. Like, I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't be like sending you stuff by now. You know what I mean? Like, I think you got a good channel going, man. And I'm loving your live streams, Tito. I'm enjoying them on my days off, man.
Yeah, I switched to podcasting and doing less videos. I still get like comments and stuff like that. Like, why did I go that way? And it's easier for me to talk about what I want to talk about, engage with people right there on the spot, and then also people watch the replay. So it just works out.
Completely understandable, man. I understand, and I kind of want to try to be in the middle of both. Where I'm kind of doing like the live streams or podcasting, whatever you want to call it, and then still post up content and like on occasion, not all the time, obviously, because I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of wanting to start posting less and less content. You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't know. You're gonna get views no matter what. You know what I mean? Whether I'm posting regular videos or live streams or whatever. My live streams don't really go as well as I would like them to, but again, it really just depends on the time that you're streaming. Like I usually either try streaming in the afternoon or I'm more successful at nighttime than anything, I guess, because that's just how my channel is. But like I've never tried like live streaming like at 10 in the morning like you, dude, or 10 or like as early as you do,
Yeah. So, I got that time slot just because like there's so many people that's converting over to live streams. I noticed that, and so I do early mornings because most of them are like gunning for like the afternoon slot or anything like that. I don't like overlapping with other people because there's people that watch like my live streams and they enjoy it, but then like take like Jerome for instance, like Phone Jerome, they like watching his live streams. If I overlap with him, it's kind of hard for them to choose like who are they going to watch. I make it easier just by having a different time slot than him.
Yeah, and then you got Snead. When does Snead usually do his live streams?
He usually does his 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So
okay, he's on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Well, they sent him a Pixel 5, didn't they?
Yeah, he's actually a part of Team Pixel. So like
that's pretty awesome.
With the 4A was when he first got invited. So they just emailed him out of nowhere. And he talked about it on his live stream. He was like, he got an email from Google. He didn't believe it. Then they sent him the 4A, and then of course he got the 5. So yeah, he's part of it now. That's cool. I mean,
Latrell over here. I don't wake up until 2 p.m. Central Time. What the heck? Latrell, where are you from again, by the way? Are you from Texas also?
He's from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Kenosha. Way off, but he's Central Time. So we got Henry Nino Pete Piazza saying, "What's up? How's it going, Henry?"
I see Henry in live streams.
Not much, bro. We're just live streaming here, talking about visible service, talking about, I guess, phone services in general, and just, I don't know, it's just general phone chat or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, tell us about the Revel 5G, man.
What do you want to know about the Revel 5G, other than that it's a really big clunky phone? I mean, I like the phone.
I know everything.
What do you want to know? It's huge and clunky, man. It's a nice phone, man. Honestly, like I think I was talking about it a little while ago, comparing it to like the TCL 10 Pro, which obviously it's the same maker, and it's just obviously it's a big bulky phone. Like that's really the only thing that I hate about it. I really wish that these phones had like a smaller form factor, but I guess the big screen appeal goes with it. I really wish it had an AMOLED display. I've already talked about this like in other streams. It's got a nice like IPS or whatever you want to call it display on it, or full FHD plus display. That's what they call them nowadays, I guess. Camera system is amazing. I love the camera on it. It's got that nice little punch-in zoom on it, so I can zoom in up to like 10x, whatnot. I think that's probably one of my favorite things about it. And I've already tested gaming like Call of Duty Mobile, Sonic on it, and gaming on it's pretty amazing. Like, I mean, I have no issues. There's really been no hiccups as far as that goes. So
Played
it's
Dead by
definitely been
Daylight.
Dead by Daylight. Is that like a zombie game or what?
Yeah, it's an online game. It's not a zombie game really. What it is like so it's a 5-player per room type game.
Mm-hmm.
4 people have to play as a survivor and 1 person plays as a killer.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, and then like if you're the killer, then you got to hunt down the 4 survivors and kill them before they can escape. And then if you're the survivor, you got to like try to like turn on all these generators to power the escape door to open before the killer finds you. So,
kind of reminds me of what's that? I'll go ahead and install it. I'm not gonna play it right now, but I'll go ahead and install it. Oh snap! What is going on? Hold on, I accidentally played the little thing. By the way, I'm getting 5G connectivity on my Rebel 5G. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Speeds on it are pretty okay. I mean, again, I'm not like super knowledgeable. Yeah, I mean, but like I'll go ahead and run a speed test for you guys just to kind of show you guys what I'm getting. It's already after midnight, so I should be getting at least over 100 megs download over here.
There it goes.
It should jump up. I think I've gotten over a couple of hundred like a couple of times, but not like consistently. So Henry Nino, thanks for the super chat, by the way, man. Woo, I got a super chat.
Shout out to Henry, man. Appreciate that, bro. You
Thanks, Henry, man. I appreciate that, and continue watching Tito's channel. That's where you're coming from. The only thing that I've kind of been disappointed is, and this is the first I'm seeing of this, actually, no. Something I noticed about the upload speeds with the 5G is it wasn't really good, but that's actually the first upload speed that I get. I'm sorry, I'm like getting this out of the shot. 65 upload. That's actually like the fastest upload I've actually gotten with this device. Because if I go to my other 5G speed, if I go to my other 5G speed test, usually my uploads are around between 8 and 12, which see if you guys can see that or not. So the ones with the smaller numbers, the ones with the smaller numbers are obviously going to be my upload speeds. So you can see there that hasn't really been consistent, but 65 right now. Damn, what's going on? Henry, thank you
on right now. Your network is freed up, no congestion. So you got highway lanes, 5 lanes open, and you're the only one on it.
That might be the reason also. But I mean, it's Friday night, I would still think that people are still up and people are still doing things out, right now, but
no, they're taking photos. They're taking drunk photos right now that they're going to regret tomorrow when they see it on Instagram.
Latrell says that's stupid Among Us game. I've never played it, honestly.
My youngest, not my youngest, but my teenage son, he plays Among Us. I haven't played that, but I mean, I played Dead by Daylight. I'm trying to unlock the Pyramid Head character because they have killer characters based off of movies, and so I'm trying to get Pyramid Head because I just want to swing that giant knife around, just that giant sword he carries.
It kind of the concept of the game kind of reminds me of Halo, I guess, when you're like playing the infected version or whatever. When like you're infected and you have to chase around the other guys that have guns, but you only have like a sword to kill them with or whatever. But you move around a lot faster and you're just doing all these things. It kind of reminds me of that, but this is obviously like a more like scary scenario or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think right now like the character I like to play, it's kind of like it's a good character, but then it pisses me off too. But like the character in Dead by Daylight I play as a killer is the Wraith. Because he can cloak himself where you can't see him, but it's stupid. Yeah. When you finally find the survivor you're trying to attack and kill, you can't attack him while you're cloaked, so you have to uncloak yourself. And it takes like a while because you have to hold down like the second left trigger, and you got to hold it down like for 5 seconds, and he bangs this bell that gives a warning to the survivor to run.
Oh my god, that's so stupid. So then there's no point of the cloak then.
Yeah, I just don't cloak myself anymore. I just go after people, cut them, chase them, cut them down, find a hook them, hang them, leave them to die,
Oh my god, that's too funny. Well, I gotta test that game out. I think maybe I'll add that into my T-Mobile Rebel 5G gaming video because the only games I really tested on this were Sonic and Call of Duty Mobile, which Call of Duty runs great on it. Like I have no issues with that. My only thing on the TCL or the Revel 5G, I don't know why I keep calling it the TCL, even though it's a TCL branded phone technically, just not doesn't have the brand on it specifically.
Yeah.
I really wish it incorporated features that like the TCL 10 Pro has on it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
This one has a little bit more of a skin though. This one's more stock Android, I guess. And like this phone has like an elevated gaming feature where like it'll turn off stuff in the background and stuff like that. So
Oh, nice.
this phone, yeah, I believe this phone does not have it, or at least I would have to double check on that again. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't have like little features like that. The only thing that really it has is like the next vision, which makes the screen look a little bit better. Um, let's see what else.
When you
Pretty
play
much
Call of
that's it.
Duty, does the gameplay play in 60 frames per second?
I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to go to the settings to check on that. Probably not. I feel like it probably downscales it to like 30 frames a second or something like that. Genius marketing over here from Latrell. But yeah, I was gonna ask you, Rob. Going back to the Pixel, right? So I know you really want a Pixel 5, right?
Yep.
Which to me it's like okay, like I know it's a good phone. Like I'm not gonna bash Google on this, but do you think it's worth the money that they're selling it for at
No.
its price? No,
No.
okay.
Like
Okay, yeah,
it's
yeah,
funny because people always come at me with that because they know that I'm a Pixel fanboy. So they're like
yeah,
$699 you can get the Galaxy Fan Edition. They're like,
yeah.
I would pay only like 499, and it's like funny because I agree with them.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
if you want the Pixel 5 to be 25 cents, I agree with you. Make it 25 cents. I'll buy it at that price. You know, it's the craziest
Well,
thing, man. It's the
no,
craziest thing
and yeah,
that price point. I'm like, yeah,
yeah, I think I don't know. I personally, yes, I do think it's a little higher priced. Not as bad as the Pixel 4, obviously. I think the Pixel 4 was a little more expensive, right, at its launch.
yeah.
But to me, like now that they're starting to get more into that like that mid-range spectrum, I still think that's a little high, like from what they're trying to sell it for. Although it's got goodies like the OLED panel, the 90 hertz refresh rate, the 4K at 60 frames a second on on the video and everything like that. A lot of people were kind of complaining that that front-facing camera still doesn't have 4K, which I wouldn't complain as long as it still had 1080p, which it does, right? On the
That's the
video
thing with
version.
most people. They'll always find things to
Yeah,
complain about. Like the iPhone
yeah.
12, I'm already hearing complaints from people about that, and I'm like, and to
Oh,
be honest, I'm impressed with the iPhone 12.
yeah, no, yeah, for sure. I love the build, and I just love the way it looks, the design, etc. I know a lot of people were going to complain about it not coming with a charger or the phones not coming with chargers. I think to me personally, I think that the only phones that should be coming with the chargers are like the Pro versions because those ones have like the faster watt charging capabilities. I don't know if that's going to be the case for these other devices. You know what I mean?
It's money. I mean,
But
obviously
it's
it's
more
gonna be
money.
faster. Yeah, faster charging, and so
Yeah.
for Apple to make money, they're going to sell a fast charger separately.
Yeah, but me personally, dude, going back to the Pixel, I would rather just keep the 4A, or I would rather have the 4A. I wouldn't even probably get the 4A 5G, honestly. Like, I'm super happy with the 4A and what
Really?
it does and its capabilities as is. You know what I mean? The Pixel 4A 5G, again, slightly bigger screen, slightly upgraded processor, another camera sensor, right, giving you, I think, a wider shot, right? Um, I don't know. Like, I don't think it's worth the extra $100 or $150 that you're gonna spend on it.
I don't
For
know, man.
that device. I don't
To
know.
be honest with you, like, because so when people ask me about it, right, they're like, Pixel 5 or
Mhm.
4A 5G, which should I go for, right? Because like I know where people are going with this because they're looking
Yeah.
longevity, right? The saddest thing about the Pixel 4A, and I think this is a stupid part on Google, is that they didn't build it out to actually be 5G capable. Like if they had all three phones 5G
Yeah.
capable, it doesn't even have to be millimeter wave. It could be sub 6 5G. I don't care. But
Hmm.
it's bringing the longevity to the Pixel 4A because that is a
Hmm.
solid, excuse my French, but a solid badass phone. It
Yeah.
is. Snapdragon 730G is just kicking major butt, and everyone was like the 700 series chips are crap. Well, explain to me how the Pixel 4a is just pretty much like dominating. And then
Hmm.
you have the 4a 5G, which to you, because you have the 4a, it's like it's not
Yeah.
worth upgrading just for the 5G. But when I
Yeah.
tell people about it, it's like they're like the Pixel 5 or the 4a 5G, and all they really want out of it is just the stock Android experience, and then of course 5G
Hmm.
connectivity. I tell them that the Pixel 4a 5G is a better value because you're only going to pay $499 for that instead of
Yeah.
$699 for the 5. So it just
Yeah.
depends. But yeah, I know where you're
Yeah.
going with the Pixel 4a because my wife loves hers.
Hmm.
I
I
can't
know,
take
yeah,
it.
I love mine honestly, dude. And that's the thing. Like, if I had to choose between the Pixel 5 and the Pixel 4a 5G, I most likely would go with the Pixel 4a, probably.
350,
Uh,
you can't beat that.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the Pixel 4a 5G. I'm sorry. But I mean,
Oh,
if I had to
I
go
get it down, yeah.
again, if there was a choice between the Pixel 4a and then the regular Pixel 5, again, I would probably go with the 4a because that's still a huge difference in money. You know what I mean? So it's like, why am I going
Yeah.
to spend? LTE is still great. Like, I mean, you're not going to have a lot of
Oh yeah.
phones transition over to 5G anytime soon. They're still going to be, selling LTE phones, and it's still going to be technology that is going to be used up for the next couple of years. You know what I mean? So I
We
don't see the
won't we
point.
won't see 5G
Yeah,
really get like really
yeah,
big until a year. Because like right now,
mhm,
and that was the whole point of the Apple event too. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that parody joke video, not parody, but it
mhm,
was a joke video where someone actually like cut up the entire iPhone 12 launch, and all they pointed out was the word 5G, and it was like 52 seconds long, and you just heard everybody in his 5G, 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 5G. It just went all. I
yeah,
showed my wife and she laughed, but
yeah,
and that was the real point, was because Verizon kind of partner dealed with Apple, so they have this relationship going now to
mhm,
really kind of launch and push 5G. And at the same time, too, they just launched DSS in several cities, which is basically Verizon actually having sub six to an extent. So the iPhone 12 is like the catalyst of pushing 5G. So they're really now going all in. So that, I
yeah,
mean, that's it's like another year or so before 5G becomes that normal, where people are definitely going to need a phone that's capable of accessing that connectivity, but not right now. Now and in the next, in 2021 and beginning of everything like that, LTE is
mhm,
it. And to for all the people who are 5G fanatics, they still got to
mhm,
understand, just like how before 5G came around, LTE was like what we were using for everything. And then if you went to a place with no signal, you dropped to 3G. That's going to be what it is when 5G is what we're using. And when we have no 5G access, you fall back to
mhm.
LTE. It's always going to be there for like another 5, 6, 7 years.
I feel like people are not people. I feel like people shouldn't notice too hard if it drops to LTE. You know what I mean? Because LTE in some areas is really extremely good. You know what I mean? Like prior to me having the T-Mobile Rover 5G, you know, 5G phone. You know, obviously, like, and this has been using the LTE bands every now and then. I'm still getting 100 plus meg download speeds on those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, even on my iPhone 11, if I were to run a speed test right now, let me run it for you guys just to give you guys an example. I'd probably be getting over 100 megs, just just to see. And again, I'm not connected to Wi-Fi just because my Wi-Fi here at home sucks. So I usually connect over here to my devices, and look, this is my iPhone 11, and I'm getting 100 plus on my iPhone 11. This is again an LTE phone.
Yeah.
So I think my fastest speed I've gotten close to 200 on my iPhone 11 also. So I'm just like, okay, like a lot of people are like really shouldn't be in a hurry to transition over to 5G. You know what I mean? Especially because in most markets, it's really not gonna matter. But I mean, that to me, that's impressive. You know what I mean? Like again, I'm getting 117 download, 16 upload on
Yeah.
my iPhone
I
11.
mean,
So again,
it's so confusing. A lot of people are really getting hung up on the terminologies because I mean they hear everyone
mhm,
talking about it. They hear people talk about ultra wideband and millimeter wave
mhm,
and then sub six, and they're like, "What the heck is that?" And the easiest
mhm,
way, in a nutshell, to explain it to people is like T-Mobile is invested in sub six, so they're really looking at their low band and mid band, which it
mhm,
obviously is going to yield like 100, 200, 300 megabits down, and maybe like 60
mhm.
to 70, maybe 80 megabits on the uplink. Well, if you look at
Yeah,
ultra wideband, which is what Verizon has, that's what Verizon's invested in first.
yeah,
At first, when they launched millimeter wave ultra wideband, they were getting like 1 gig, 1.5 gigs down, and like
mhm,
100 up. But just recently, after the Apple event, and it's kind of funny they did this, but like
mhm.
people are now reporting, like in Boston, a guy did a download speed. He had like 3.5 gigs on the downlink.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's you're gonna see it, like a difference between 5G and LTE, but that's when 5G is actually built out. Like right now, they're still
Mhm.
building out. T-Mobile still has a ways to go because they're even invested in millimeter wave, but they're
Yeah,
starting from the opposite end of the table. They're working on low band and mid band, and then working on millimeter wave.
yeah,
And then Verizon's on the other side with millimeter wave first, and then working on their
yeah,
low and mid band. It's crazy.
yeah. So it's like one's doing it like they're working their way from the top down, and then the other one's going from the bottom up, basically.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
like which makes more sense though. Like I mean, that's interesting at the same time. You know what I mean? But I mean, to me, like I just wonder how it's going to affect the cost of our data plans and whatnot. You know what I mean? Because I mean, yeah, once we're getting those thousand meg download speeds or whatever, or 1 gig, 1 to 3 gig download speeds, like are they gonna upscale our prices? Are we gonna be paying more? You know what I mean? Is Visible 5G service going to go up in price? You know what I mean?
No,
Like
no, then I already asked him about that. It's gonna stay the same rate.
that's
But
good. So
they're not really gonna hike the prices when it comes to 5G like on a drastic. Maybe like on the postpaid side,
yeah.
it might be like $5 or $10 more. Where
Hmm.
the carriers are really gonna get people at is so the way that they're doing things right now, and we can see this with the Pixels, like the current Pixels that just came out, they actually
Hmm.
did this. So like the Pixel 5 can access millimeter wave on Verizon, and it can do so on AT&T, but there's only certain bands from the
Hmm.
signal that it can actually connect to. So what it looks like that's going to happen is like say you bought a T-Mobile phone that's like 5G capable on T-Mobile, and you want to leave T-Mobile, so you're like, okay, well, unlock my phone. But when you get the phone unlocked from T-Mobile, it can go on Verizon, but it may be restricted of accessing Verizon's millimeter wave. So the only place you're going to get that millimeter wave is with T-Mobile. This is their new way of locking people to stay with them longer. All the carriers
Dang.
are doing this.
That's interesting, and that kind of sucks if you think about it, because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, there's no point in unlocking devices now if you're not even going to be able to use like specific bands on specific on certain
Yep.
phones, obviously. So, Henry Nino Piazza asked BT Reviews, what is your favorite phone and who is your carrier? So my main carrier is T-Mobile. My favorite phone out of all of the phones that I have currently is probably the Pixel 4a, which I'm live streaming on right now. Next to it would be my iPhone 11, obviously, because that's my daily. That's what I use. And I'm more of an iOS guy now than I am an Android person now. But at the same time, like again, I was talking about it earlier. I love kind of going back and forth on it, and I love using both of them entirely. Like sometimes I'll walk like what I know Rob, he probably walks around with two phones in his pocket, right?
Yeah.
I don't do that all the time, but I do that every now and then, especially when I'm like testing out phones and I'm going to places to test out like camera quality, etc. Like that. I'm walking around with two phones a lot of the time. So, Angelica Escobar, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for joining on the live stream. She's saying hi. Now let's
Yeah.
see.
She's right next to me and she's watching. And she's
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining in, Miss Angelica. Or yeah, is it? Oh no, it's
Yep.
Angelica. I'm sorry,
No, you
Angelica.
said it right. You said it right the first time.
Oh, really? It's Angelica? Okay, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Yeah. Okay, yeah. And I was like, oh, because I know there's different ways of spelling it also. That's why.
Bro,
So,
you're like the first person I know that got it right from the jump. Everybody goes to Angelica first, and then she has to
yeah.
correct her with Angelica.
Well, that's the Latino version in me saying it correctly, I guess, because you have so many awkward names down here where I live. I live in South Texas, so you have so many like Latina names like Guadalupe and who else? There's just so many. There's so many Mexican female names. I can't obviously I'm blanking out right now, but let's see. She's Latrell saying I feel like the T-Mobile 5G strategy is smarter. Technically, I think it is probably because in the long run, it's probably not costing them as much to build from the downwards up. You know what I mean? And they're kind of just going at it in small chunks. You know what I mean? Compared to
No,
Verizon, where they're probably spending a crap load of money. You know what I mean?
what I'll say this: what T-Mobile needs, and I'm gonna keep saying this. I know a lot of people trash on T-Mobile and bag on them. I get it.
Who,
You
who
know,
does that?
oh, there's a lot of people that do, but it's not that
Yeah,
they hate T-Mobile. It's that
yeah.
the strategy of what they're doing. So I would rather have a company be straight out with me than to lie and make claims of we have the fastest 5G, but you
Mm-hmm.
actually don't. Like, don't lie to your customers because the customers are catching on. Like, consumers are not dumb. They're
Mm-hmm.
not these dumb, Stone Age people that don't know anything. They know, and then they listen to us and what we say, and they kind of go along and give us their input. But what T-Mobile needs is the parent company, Deutsche Telekom, to step in and start spending some money. Give T-Mobile the money that they need because these towers that they build, they're not cheap, man. They're like upwards in $1 million to build out one tower,
Yep.
but they're expected to roll out Band 71 on LTE and on NR across the United States. It's like
Mm-hmm.
they've done too much already. They've done T-Mobile Tuesdays. Obviously, they're losing money on that because they're giving away a lot of stuff. They have to reconfigure their deal with Netflix to try to keep that, because
Yeah,
Verizon now has the whole Disney Plus triple package thing that they're giving to their customers.
yeah, yep. They're offering a lot more.
Yeah, so it's like, well, how does T-Mobile stay competitive, and how do they do things? So like now they're also trashing on Metro. So now there's internal fighting with T-Mobile. They're trying to shut down all these Metro dealers, and I mean, people are going to lose their jobs. It's like Mike Seaver is probably the worst CEO to ever have taken over T-Mobile. They
Yep,
say
they
that
should
he
have
was
left John.
Ledger, yeah, but these things that Mike Sievert doesn't. It's nothing like John Ledger has done for T-Mobile. These are not steps that he's ever done anything like this.
Yeah.
And then Neville Ray has to stand as the guy to lie to everyone and say they got fastest 5G. They're building it out faster than any other carrier, but he knows they're actually not, because they don't have the capital to build as quickly as Verizon and AT&T can. That's what sucks. Deutsche Telekom, parent company. It's just like SoftBank with Sprint. They expected Sprint to do great, but SoftBank didn't want to spend any money.
Yep, and Sprint could have been a lot better than what it was. I'll tell you that much. You know what I mean? But I think you're right about that. The fact that their parent companies are not wanting to invest or spend the money that they need to make the network improvements. Because I remember back in the early 2000s, Sprint was like the company to be in when you had like a cell phone and whatnot. Like it really was the only one, to be honest. And then Verizon came around, and Verizon at the time, well, at least when I was, this is what I remember as a kid, was really its only competitor, right? But it was kind of just like Sprint and Verizon, and then who else showed up? AT&T finally decided to join the mobile game as well, and then it's just like, okay, those are the big three, right? And then you had all these little companies start popping up out of nowhere, and the T-Mobile just came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And yeah, dude, I remember T-Mobile. I remember T-Mobile was not even like top 5 back in the day, and then it just kind of jumped, and it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? And I think before T-Mobile, what was it called? It was another company, yeah. So I mean, man, dude, it's just crazy to see like how much all of that has changed in like the last 15 years already.
Yeah.
Okay, Latrell's saying they also pressured Verizon into including these services with your plan, like the Disney and Apple Music Plus. Oh yeah, that's kind of true also. Yeah.
To an extent. See, Verizon kind of like Hans Vestberg, he's a good guy. The CEO that took over Verizon, Hans Vestberg, he's smart, different tactic. See, the old CEO, I forgot his name, that used to be on Verizon, he had this mentality where like, we're number one in the nation, so everyone's just going to come to us. So they had their prices high. They just had this mentality where they didn't care if you left, because in their mentality was like, yeah, go ahead, leave. Let's go to somebody else, and their network's trash. You're going to come back to us. They were so cocky about it. Hans Vestberg, he's just like has this whole different approach to it. So yeah, he looked at, obviously he looked at all these deals that are going on. He lowered, a little bit of pricing when it came to Verizon, and then he was like, yeah, let's throw some stuff in there too. Like he is trying to capitalize on the same model that John Ledger did. Because Latrell's right in the previous comment above the one you're highlighting. John Ledger changed the game. All the uncarrier moves he did. That's what I'm saying. This Mike Sievert guy is totally off base from anything that John was. And I'll tell this to anybody out there. John Ledger believed in T-Mobile so much that we always saw him in T-Mobile gear. Now,
oh yeah, all the time. Anytime he posted something, even the shoes, man, right down to the shoes.
Instagram now, I guarantee you, hardly wearing anything T-Mobile. And a lot, people will say, well, he still shouts out T-Mobile, and yes, he will. Part of his contract of leaving was a non-compete, so that's why he can't go to AT&T and be a CEO over there, or go to Verizon and take over there. He has a non-compete clause for basically retiring out as former CEO of T-Mobile. But he doesn't wear their stuff like he avidly used to. And, honestly, I feel like that John Ledger's seen all the things that Mike Sievert and all these idiots were going to do. It wasn't what he wanted them to do, much less it made him look like a liar to the entire, United States, when he was like, the merger with Sprint was going to build jobs to be beneficial and all this other stuff. And they're going completely opposite from what he even argued in courts to try and get this deal done, and got it done. Yeah, sad that they lost him as a CEO.
Yeah, man. That's kind of the crappy part about that. Like they went through all of that, and then he ended up, having to step down or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on the board, but then he even stepped down from that, so he didn't want to be on the board of directors. It was just,
Oh,
it was a
wow.
bad deal. T-Mobile is trying to shift to be more corporate. Like they're going against everything that they stood for, and that's
Yeah.
really damaging. But the people who actually lose out are the customers. You know,
Yep. I
that's
agree. I mean, and that's gonna drive customers away to come to services like Visible or even like Mint Mobile. You know what I mean?
yeah,
'Cause, I mean, it's really, I mean, it's like you're not losing much of the service when you're just really switching companies and you're basically under the same network. You know what I mean? So it's like when you have all these other companies out there that are offering their services for significantly less money and whatnot, to me, I'm just liking that. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I feel like Ryan Reynolds just bought Mint Mobile so that he can be posting pictures of himself on their
Deadpool Mobile.
Instagram.
It's Deadpool Mobile.
Yeah, they might as well call it Ryan Reynolds Mobile over here because he's always posting crap about himself
Oh
on
yeah,
their Instagram or even their Twitter. I'm just like, damn. Like I even was watching one of my YouTube videos, and you know how like you'll get your ads, right? I've gotten Mint Mobile ads on some of my videos, and I'm like, oh, Ryan Reynolds, like like
yeah.
thanks, you know,
It's
thank
actually
you.
cool though. Like I like
Yeah,
how his approach is to things. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
yeah, he's not overly aggressive, and that's what like I tell some people about. It's like, yeah, he owns Mint Mobile. He owns part of Mint Mobile. He's invested a huge
majority
lot of money
owner.
into it. Yeah, he owns
Yeah,
a majority stake. He likes to do ad commercials for it. Obviously, it's his company, it's his brand, but
yep,
he's never really in your face with it. Like it's not everything that he posts on Instagram
hmm
has to do with Mint Mobile. Or
yep.
he doesn't make up all these little skits like every day for like 10 seconds, him dressed as Deadpool talking about Mint Mobile. He could go that length, but he doesn't. But I
That
mean,
would
it's
be funny.
shows.
That would be funny if we start seeing like these Mint Mobile ads like before all of like those Marvel movies and whatnot. I'll be cracking up. I'm
Yeah,
ready.
or like you just find Easter eggs in like the next wave of MCU movies, and like
You never know.
reference to it. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I got Mint, or like some sort of just crappy corny line
I
during, like,
can't wait. You know it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen.
yeah,
It's
the
gonna
Deadpool
happen.
movie. I guarantee you, Deadpool movie. He's gonna make
Yeah.
some reference to it.
Let's see. Latrell says if T-Mobile is already going downhill after John Leisure left, I can't imagine what T-Mobile is gonna look like 5 years down the road. Um,
Hashtag
for
bring back
now,
John
bring
Legend.
back John Leisure.
I
Yeah,
agree.
hashtag bring back John. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people might support that, and you never know. I mean, it might be to the point where they might ask him to go back. You never know. I mean,
Yeah, Make a Wish Foundation, right? Someone's like, "What's your last wish?" I'll call that kid up. Like, you don't wish for $1 million.
yeah,
You don't wish for nothing. You tell him you want John Ledger as CEO of T-Mobile.
yes, sir. I mean, that would be nice, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, customers are still going to be customers, and whether they leave or not, like the company's still going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's gonna have cheaper prices. That's something
Yeah,
that people always like. How did Sprint stay around for so many years? Because they were giving away lines. That's why. At the end of
all
the
the
day,
time.
yeah, you can get the unlimited freedom. Pay for the first two lines, get the other three lines for free on the 5-line family plan. Unlimited freedom,
Yeah,
bro. They gave so many lines away, and the people are always wondering why was Sprint around? Because they gave
yeah.
free lines. That's why.
It's true. Yeah, and
Who's
you're
gonna
completely
argue
right
with
about
free?
that. I mean, I remember being a part of their service. I mean, the only thing that I really enjoyed about Sprint was that Virgin Mobile was, piggybacking off of them.
Oh
But
yeah,
the times that I had their service going back, like I think probably what the last time I had their service was maybe like 2016, maybe. And this is at the time when like maybe 2015, 2016. I'm like maybe I'm going a little too far. I'm not 100% sure, but this is when I went back to their service. I was with T-Mobile, and I was not complaining with T-Mobile, but at the time girlfriend convinced me to get like an iPhone, I guess, or whatever, which was the iPhone 6s. And I think the only way at the time I could do it was if I like joined like a specific network and like port my number or something, and they would give me
yeah.
like the free phone, or I wouldn't have to pay like specific amount of money down or whatever. So I got the iPhone 6s, and like I mean, the phone was good, obviously, right? I can't complain about the phone, but the service was horrible, man. And I never had a consistent phone bill with Sprint, dude. Like I remember, like 1 month I was paying like just like $100 flat, and then the next month I was paying 140. 1 month I saw like
Oh yeah, the
160, and I'm
billing
just
is
like,
bad.
I'm like, I'm supposed to have unlimited everything. Why am I getting all these different charges? And they're like, oh well, they're prorated fees and this and that. And I'm just like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, so after like I don't know, maybe like 6 months, I ended up breaking the contract, and I ended up having to pay out of pocket to like break the contract. I think I ended up paying like way too much money. Or actually, you know what? When I moved over to Verizon after that, they paid off my lines, and I only had to pay like maybe a couple $100 in fees to like whatever, but that was still a pain in the ass, like have to go through. You know what I mean? So that's always fun. But I never missed Sprint after that. You know what I mean? And it was
Yeah,
the LTE service where I lived was horrible, dude. Like it sucked really bad. But yeah, other than that though, man, like shit. I mean, it's interesting to see what Latrell was saying. Like, where will T-Mobile be 5 years down the road, and other companies like AT&T and
only what's
Verizon.
better. That's the thing that I'll tell people. Like you hear a lot of the negative impact that's going on with T-Mobile Corporation,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't expect a company that wants to make money to stay at the bottom. Eventually, they'll find the
Mm-hmm.
error, what they're doing wrong. Eventually, they'll make
Mm-hmm.
growth. It'll get better. It will get better. That's what it is. I mean, Sprint had no choice. You know, they were hemorrhaging money from just all the bad publicity that they garnered themselves with that triple billing issue that they were like billing people like 3 times the amount. And
Yep.
then their parent company SoftBank was also hemorrhaging money. I mean, if you follow tech news, you would have seen, like, I think it was like a month ago, they had to
Mm-hmm.
sell off, was it Brightstar, which was another company that they owned that was like in conjunction with Sprint, basically
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what Asurion is to an extent, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to sell that off. Like SoftBank was already hemorrhaging money. They had a huge debt already.
Wow.
So, yeah, when you have two ships, a baby
Mm-hmm.
ship and a parent ship, both leaking and absorbing water, they're both going to sink. So they had no choice but to sell Sprint.
Well, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
With everything that Sprint gave, also
Yeah.
came the debt that Sprint had. So now T-Mobile
Yeah.
has inherited that debt as well.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep.
I can understand that then why they are trying to make sure that they're earning profits with T-Mobile rather than give stuff away and do all this stuff. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Latrell's asking, anybody have Hum by Verizon? Is that like an app or something? What is Hum?
I don't know. The only thing that comes to mind when he talks about Hum is that new thing with the event. I think it was 2 days ago. The Google search on 2020, where
Mm-hmm.
like with Google Assistant, you can hum the beat of a song and it'll figure out what that
Mm-hmm.
song is and tell you what it is.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool actually. I mean, you can always go back to apps like SoundHound or whatever, and it's like the same thing. But I think that's pretty cool that Google Assistant's finally starting to do stuff like that.
Yeah, they did a lot of cool things with Google search. Like I think one of the because like it was funny. I was gonna live stream my reaction to it live, but then Jerome was gonna do it, so I ended up watching it on his. And it was
Hmm.
just funny because everybody was bored because obviously it just talked about what they did with Google search and how much smarter the AI got and everything. But like one of the coolest things, and I said this on my podcast, is that if you Google search something like you're trying to change the oil on the car that you just bought, but you don't know
Hmm.
where like the drain plug is, so you Google search it, they'll bring up like YouTube videos that shows you how to change the oil on the car. But
Hmm.
just to make it easier, so you don't have to watch a whole 20-minute video, because you reference how to drain it or how to find the drain for the
Hmm.
oil. Once you hit play on the YouTube video, it will automatically jump to that specific point in the video where the person shows you where to drain the oil out of.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
So
Instead
to
of
make
having to
it
waste like all that filler time up
Yeah,
to that point, you know what I mean?
that's hella
That,
cool.
that's awesome. But yeah, Latrell said Hum is a car diagnostic and roadside assistant thing you plug into your car system, basically like an OnStar, basically. Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay.
I think. Well, I I don't. Well, hold on. What did he say? Anybody have? I don't have it, but I think my ex girlfriend had like some sort of like thing that was prior to him that was something similar to that, you know, where it was like it would do a lot of that stuff for her. But I think it was called something else at the time. I don't know if they called it Hum back then, but now I think I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Basically, like an OnStar, yeah. It's also like a mini GPS or whatever. Oh, it even comes with a hotspot. Nice.
I think my sister has that in her car.
Yeah, well, I think my car has like something called Blue Link or whatever, but I don't have it activated because you have to pay for the service, I think. And
Yeah, hers is the AT&T.
yeah, no, mine like I it even has like that little thing where you can like auto start the car like just using an app, but I never got any of that crap activated. And I was like, I should really do this, especially during the winter hours, because I was supposed to get like the first 2 years free, but I've already had my car for 2 years, so I'm like, I don't think they're gonna they're gonna let me do it anymore already. Yeah, because I'm going on 2 years with my little black car already, so pretty awesome.
When are you gonna do an update video about the car?
Uh, I don't really have an update video for it. I mean, I'm thinking about training it in maybe like a year down the road. But hey, if you want to see one, I'll definitely make one. My Forerunner is actually giving me issues, so I haven't made a video about that. Um, but I made a video about like how the spun out the tachometer and speedometer or whatever kind of went out.
Yeah.
So we thought it was like the speed sensors and the wheels and whatnot. So me and my father we replaced the speed sensors in the wheel, and then we replaced one of the speed sensors in the transmission, and it still doesn't work. But apparently, like someone was saying that like there's also and here's the actual speed sensors. I have a set here that belong to the rear tires now, so I'm gonna see if we can replace these ones maybe sometime this weekend. And then after that, like the engine just started like I don't know how to explain it. The engine just kind of started kind of hiccuping a little bit. You know what I mean?
Like
So
knocking a
before,
little bit?
yeah, like it like it'll idle down. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like you know how like a car
Oh,
when it revs it'll idle down to like 1,000 or 500 RPM, right? Well, like I feel like it's misfiring. Like it's misfiring because like
yeah.
it'll still run and turn on, but you can tell like one of the cylinders or maybe one of the fuel injectors or something is not going right in there because it's not giving like as much power as it did before. And I'm just like, okay, I haven't done anything different. Like before I got sick with the corona, it was running fine. I got an oil change on it. I did the gas treatment, or I did the fuel system treatment, to
Mhm.
keep it going, obviously. Like, because this is like a 300,000 mile vehicle already. I think before the speedometer messed up, I was about to hit 287,000 miles on it.
Oh
So I'm like,
shoot.
damn, like, you know what I mean? Like, this thing's still running like a beast. And then, like, after I got sick, I was still using it for work and I was driving it to work. And then, like, maybe just like about a month ago, that's when I started having all these issues. And I'm like, oh man, I should have sold it when I was getting all these offers on it because I had a few people put in some offers on the vehicle before it messed up. So I was like, damn it, I waited too long.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But yeah, I'll probably make an update video about that, and maybe on my car this weekend. Now that you're asking, I mean, I've had my
Well,
car for
cars
almost
are
two
doing
years.
good, man. I don't know if you follow like car videos on
Oh,
YouTube.
dude, yeah, car channels do relatively good on YouTube. That's for sure.
The
Oh,
CPM is high on them. Like
it is, and I don't know
yeah,
why it's so high, but
getting
yeah, you're
low.
right. I mean, I've only done a couple car videos, but I've noticed that yeah, like the CPM is relatively a lot higher on car YouTuber videos. Like I follow I don't know if you've heard a guy. His name's Watch JR Go. All he does is like buy vehicles and he flips them. And he's like a young guy. He's like maybe early 30s, and he started maybe doing YouTube maybe like a little. He started. I started watching his channel a little more than a year ago, but I started watching him when he only had like 20 some thousand subs, and now he has like 200K subs, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Within
what
like that, yeah.
what's
So
his name?
and he's making
TK?
videos like every day, dude.
Yeah, TK. He started doing that too. So like that's why he has two different channels. Like he
Mhm.
has his other channel that hit I think 20,000 subscribers. It's
Yep.
called TK's Garage, and that he does the same thing. He buys cars,
Yeah.
he flips them, but like it's crazy though because he also does car giveaways. It's so nuts how he.
Yeah, I wish I could afford to do car giveaways, right? But no, like if I knew more about like engines and mechanics and all that, like really, I know basic stuff about cars, you know what I mean? But if I knew more on how to like work with stuff like that, I would do a lot more car videos, and I would really focus on that a lot more. Something that I've thought about going back to school for, just to kind of just to kind of get into, you know what I mean, and start messing around with myself. But I'm just like I'm still I think once I get a little more out of debt, you know what I mean, then I'll then I'll start looking at that. But what the heck? Why do I have so many emails open? But yeah, Rob, I'm gonna probably get off soon because I do gotta shower, man. But I want to thank you for joining in tonight on the chat, Latrell. Thanks for joining in. By the way, before we leave, speaking of new mobile, because he's talking about new mobile bag. He sees that, right? New mobile bag in the background.
Yep.
Yeah. So that I got that bag. They sent me like a little goodie package probably after they sent me the new mobile G3 Plus. And if you go to their Twitter, I think I had posted this on Twitter also. Their Twitter account is suspended, so I want to know what's going on with that. Do you guys know anything about that?
Dude, I tried to get a hold of them because the G
Yeah.
is out. So I was trying to see,
Yeah.
like who are they sending the review units to? Because
Mhm.
I got them. I think you got some too from them, didn't you?
Well, I got the G3 Plus back like last year, and then I got that little set of merch that they sent me, which
Yeah.
was just like the bag and the hat and like whatever. But I haven't heard from them since, and I was trying to message them yesterday on Twitter, and then when I go to their account or when I go to the message, it says like, "Oh, message failed to send" or something. I was like, "What?" Like I was like, "Is it my service?" And they're like, I go to the account page and it says account has been suspended.
Yeah. Yeah, it has.
Yeah,
I tried reaching out to them on their Instagram. They haven't replied
yeah,
back to me yet, but I asked them the same thing. I was like, hey, I used to talk with, whoever ran the Twitter account. We had a
yeah.
relationship going. I got review units. I'm
Hmm.
looking to see if we're going to send out review units for G5, but the Instagram account is just so dead because the person that seen the message didn't even reply back. Not
Yeah,
you're talking to the wrong person. This is where you need to talk to, or talk to our, press, our press release manager or something like that. Like, they didn't
yeah.
nowhere. I'm like, okay.
I feel like it sucks because I kind of feel like I got the same thing from Coolpad, the brand also, because like when they sent me the Legacy last year, I was like, oh, okay, cool, like we'll have a good relationship. And my Legacy videos actually did pretty okay, like from what I remember. My new mobile videos did not do great at all. I think they had hardly any views, but it's because it's more of a no name brand. Phones were good. The phone was pretty okay, but like the brand was just like no name, and I'm just like, well, it wasn't a bad phone to begin with, you know what I mean? But I tried messaging them, nothing on Twitter, and they have a LinkedIn account which you cannot directly DM them, but they've been making posts on their LinkedIn accounts though. So I think I tried like commenting on one of their post on LinkedIn, and I was just like, hey, like, are you guys doing like, are you guys sending out review units? Like, please send me a DM. You know what I mean? And there was like another YouTuber that I saw leaving a comment on there also. I forgot what the guy's YouTuber handle was, but I was
Yeah.
like, I think this guy looks familiar. And he was leaving comments saying, hey, like, there's opportunities for like review units to be sent out. Please like message us, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I have their email somewhere from New Mobile because I remember originally like they sent me info on Twitter and then I got in contact with them via email. So that's something that I might need to
Yeah, me,
look at
Latrell.
also.
Latrell's
Yeah,
the dude, man. He's like hooking me up with all these things, man. He gives me he gives me all the info. Like, he's the one that gave me the info on how to contact Google and then try to get them to try to send out a pixel. So I mean, and I'm
and it
halfway
worked.
there. I'm just waiting
Yeah,
to send me that email that says, "Hey, your Pixel 5's on the way." I'm waiting for
yeah,
that. I don't know how long that's gonna take, but I still haven't gotten nothing back from them yet. But I submitted it
yeah.
request.
Low key, I kind of feel like I burned my bridges a little bit with TCL a little bit, and I'll just say it here because I'm sure the guy that's in charge of their PR isn't going to watch an hour into my live stream, right? But the guy that sent me the devices initially, he's like the head of their PR also, right?
Yeah,
And real nice guy. He follows me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. He's still following me, so I'm just like, okay, maybe he's still looking at my videos, right? But like when I had made a video a while back saying that I was gonna sell some phones, and I actually had like the TCL phones in there because I was like, okay, I'm done with the phones. Like I really don't need to make any videos about them, right? So like as soon as one of his like people saw that video, like he sent me an email right away saying, hey, like you can't be doing that. Like he's like, you have to send the phone back if you're not gonna use it anymore, or you can give it away. He's like, so he's like, either keep the phone and continue working on videos on it, or he's like, or you have or do a giveaway. And he's like, we support you guys doing giveaways, which is fine. But he's like saying like he was just telling me like, oh, like it's not a good thing like that people will go and like sell the devices, you know what I mean? And that I completely understand, but I've done it in the past where and I've never had any issues. And like I guess that was the first time someone actually said anything. So I was like, oh damn, like like I was like, oops, never mind. So I took down the listings and I emailed him back right away. And I'm like, Brad, I'm sorry because his name's Brad. I was like, Brad, I'm sorry. This is not a policy I knew existed. So he sent me the information. I was like, okay. So I told him, I'm sorry. I took down the listings right away. I took down the video. I had taken down the video that I posted that I was going to sell the stuff also. And I was just like, I apologize, man. And he's like, that's okay. Like, He's like, I had a feeling that you didn't know, and I was okay, yeah. So, and he's like, but he's like, if you would like to do a giveaway video, which I did a giveaway video on the TCL 10L, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I gave that phone away. So, and I'm gonna hold on to the TCL 10 Pro just to maybe until at least until it gets its Android 11 update, because apparently they've been promising an Android 11 update even prior to Android 11 coming out. So I want to see how long that's going to take for it to actually come into play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, we'll keep an eye out on the emails.
If he explained in the email back to you that he figured that you didn't know about that policy with them, then your bridge is not burnt. I mean, that if he would have just completely cut you off like at that point after he told you couldn't sell it just to give it away.
No. Yeah. And I emailed him and I said, you know, I apologize, I didn't know. And he's like, I understand this and that. So I just sent him the email, hey, like, you know, I decided to do a giveaway, but I haven't heard back from him since then. So I'm like, like, you know, that was since July the 21st, I think, or whatever. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see if I hear back from them whenever their next device comes out, if they decide to send it out. But what I really like about TCL is that they were. Oh, sorry, my dog's choking over here. That they were really focusing on like more of the small YouTubers at first, rather than giving like the bigger YouTubers the opportunities. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a good step by them. And that's.
Yeah, but I was like, once I saw the TCL 10 Pro on Unbox Therapy, I was like, yeah, our videos are not gonna get any views. Like, yeah, I was just like, nope, never mind. Like, we're not gonna get any views. Like, it doesn't matter what I post about the TCL 10 Pro. Like, you're just not. And it's not so much because the phone's not good. It's just the brand itself. Like, it's more of a TV brand. People are not really looking at that brand as like a phone. A device to take with you, you know what I mean? But it's a beautifully designed phone. Like, I think it has some of the best cameras for the price range, you know what I mean? I think it's still a little overpriced, but you know, it's got features that, you know, phones like the Revel 5G doesn't have, like the AMOLED display. What else does it have? It's got that quad camera setup opposed to that triple camera setup, obviously. I'm not 100% sure about the battery life. I think the battery life on the Revel 5G is a little better, actually, but regardless, like, the phone still works really good, and I can't complain. I think it's a really well-rounded device.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't know. But any questions or comments before I get off, Rob, before I let you go?
No, man, I'm gonna let you go so you can get things done. I'm just gonna tell everybody to make sure, like, all these links in the ticker down here, right? You guys follow him on social. You know, if you guys want to donate to his you know, to his show, to you know, for production to help out and things like that, get some devices to come into review. You hit those links right there, Cash App right there, man.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that, and that's why I have that ticker set up, actually, so that people can see that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know if anyone's noticing that down there or not, and I don't know if you use that on your channel, but you should start using that on your channel also, bro.
Yeah, no, I use PayPal. I put it on there. And I tell people all the time, you know, some people, you know, they don't do the super chats because they know that YouTube takes like 25% of it. And I tell them, if you don't want YouTube taking any of it, then just send it to me on PayPal. And go towards the same thing. So.
Yeah, and that's why I posted up my Cash App, because I'm like, you know, it's the same thing on Cash App. They don't charge fees or anything like that as far as that goes. So, you know, any donations help. I really want to give a big shout out to the other guy. I forget what his name was. Henry Nino Piazza. Thank you for giving that super chat. You know, I really appreciate that. Again, anything helps the channel. You know what I mean? We're low. I would say we're at the bottom of the of the tech YouTubers, or at least I am. At least I am. But no, I mean, we really appreciate it. And Rob Tito, I really appreciate you being here with me tonight, man, joining in on the chat. You know, it's Friday night. I know you probably have better things to do, you know, be with your family, etc. But I appreciate you joining in, man. And hopefully I can pop in on one of your live streams this coming week. If you do a live stream on Monday, let me know, because I'll be available Monday, like early afternoon probably. Or maybe if I get up early enough. We'll see.
Yeah, I do it Monday through Friday, so it's always there. But it's always early, so it's like 10, usually around 10:30 my time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what, like 12:30 your time?
11 or 12 my time. Yeah, I mean, no, I think you're only an hour behind, so it would be like 11 a.m. my time. So I'll keep an eye on that, man. But again, guys, everyone, thanks for joining in. Henry, Latrell, they're still pretty active in the chat. I really appreciate you guys being here. Rob, you have a good night, man. You guys take it easy. Have a good night, and y'all have a good weekend. Okay.